Okay, welcome back to the YouTube channel of ProEnzo Vidz, and this is it. It's the final part of the NRL 2023 Bowl Prediction Series, part 3, so final part of it. It's going to be hectic, it's going to be massive, and it's going to be interesting, because I believe some of the things I'll reveal are not ones you're going to expect straight away. So, yeah, so look, obviously, it's going to be a very interesting sort of season, nonetheless, with what happens and what occurs. But I guess at the end of the day, these are just predictions that I'm thinking could happen and may happen, and we'll see how they go. But before I do continue furthermore, I just want to say that thank you to those who have recently subscribed. I just realised that last night or yesterday, well, mainly last night, that I got a couple new subscribers. So thank you to those who did subscribe. That means a lot to myself and the channel, and you know, it only helps more getting closer to my current goal of 2,850 subscribers. But to get to 2,900 at the end of January, that's my big goal. So yeah, thank you to those who have recently subscribed, and if you're new watching the channel right now, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, without further ado, everyone, it's part 3 of my NRL 2023 Bowl Prediction Series. Please sit back and enjoy, because this is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be very worthwhile watching, I guarantee it. Okay, bowl prediction number 1, and it is Dean Young, the former Dragons player and the current North Queensland Cowboys assistant coach. I predict him to be returning to the Dragons in 2024 as head coach. So now, I understand this is NRL 2023 bowl predictions, not 2024, which is next year. But I think that, you know, with Dean Young, it's a case whether he may come early, like mid-season, because I do believe Anthony Griffin will get sacked, but I think he'll either come mid-season or he'll come at the end of 2024. I feel like if this was to happen, it's more likely he'll come at the end of the year, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility of him coming mid-season as well. But unlikely, as he's an assistant coach, and will have to be probably focusing on the Cowboys for the remainder of 2023. But yeah, no, it's a bold prediction. I do think that during the year, at some point, they will announce Dean Young is going to come back to the club, and it makes sense as well. He's a proud player who's won a premiership with them. He's a very successful player for many years at the Dragons. He knows the club well. He knows the culture, knows his way about the club as well. So I think it'd make so much sense if he came back to the club as a head coach and replaced Griffin if he does get sacked. But yeah, I think it'd be a great addition if he came back, Dean Young, as the Dragons coach. And I've got to say as well, he was an interim in 2020, so we'll see what happens. Okay, bold prediction number 2, and I believe long-time Roosters enforcer and grub, but fantastic player, Jared Waerea-Hargreaves will retire at the end of 2023. I think JWH, you know, turning 34 this year will probably be maybe his last year, as you know, 34 is pretty much the age where most players who continue to play for that long retire. He may go on for 2024. You never know, because I think he's still good enough. But no, look, I see him retiring this year. I think this is his last year. 2023 will be the last year of Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. I believe he'll retire. He'll retire as a one-club man, but actually no, sorry, he technically will retire as a two-club player, because he played for Manly as well back in the early, back in 2009, 2010 days. But he'll be more known as a Rooster, obviously, if he does retire this year. But yeah, that's a bold prediction. I predict JWH will announce his retirement this year. Okay, bold prediction number 3, and that is, I believe it's a bold one because he hasn't played much footy recently, but I'm going to say it now, and I believe Tommy Talau will be the breakout player of the year / the most improved player of the year. I believe he's in for a massive season at the West Tigers. Tommy Talau. Look, I don't rate Tigers too highly coming into this year. I do believe they're still going to be building for quite a bit and still won't be as competitive. But I do think Tommy Talau coming back from injury and seeing how Tim Sheens has already sort of rated Tommy Talau and thinks that he's a good player. Like he likes because of Blore and Talau both returning from injury. Sheen said that he's keen to work for those sort of guys again. He likes players that can play more than one position. So, look, obviously he's a centre for me, Talau, but he can play back row as well. So, yeah, it could be an indication he might play a bit more games, because because Tim Sheens has said that Charlie Staines been training at fullback, Dane Laurie in the halves, and that could be the case. Maybe Tommy Talia going to the centres, you know, in one point as well. But yeah, in general, I think he's in for a big year, Tommy Talia. I've always rated him. I always thought he was a good player. Just unlucky with injuries and other stuff, but I think he's in for a big season. If he can gel some games together, I think he's in for a massive 2023. So that is my third bold prediction. Okay, on to my fourth bold prediction now, and this is one that it can happen to anyone pretty much. Like, transfers during the season can always happen. They can always occur at any time during the season, and it's possible for any player to leave at some stage as well. But yeah, look, I reckon it's one that's most likely to happen if he doesn't get any game time. And that's Bailey Beyond Yoda from the Bulldogs, and I think Beyond Yoda is in real risk of being let go by the Bulldogs only because they've bought New Brown as a jersey 14 option, and I'd say he starts over in the jersey 14 role over Beyond Yoda as well. And I think they've also got Reynolds there as well, but I can't see Reynolds lasting more than a year. I think he'll leave at the end of this year personally. He's getting a bit older and kind of going to hold off some young players coming through. They've got young Khalid Rajab as well. Got a couple of good rookies there that can play that 14 role. And see, with Beyond Yoda he's got an ACL injury, so he may not be back straight away, which is pretty rough because he is a talented player and we saw a bit of that in 2021 of what he could offer. Just 2022, despite playing some games, first grade games, he just got that ACL injury in reserve grade, which probably really hurts him going forward, I think. Maybe the Bulldogs will show some faith in keeping, which would be nice to see, but I just think with other options coming through and the Bulldogs just continually working through their squad and changing things, I just have a feeling that they'll let go Beyond Yoda, and I think Beyond Yoda will get a better chance elsewhere. That's what it feels like to me, but we'll see anyway. But yeah, that's my fourth bold prediction, the Bulldogs to release Bailey Beyond Yoda mid-season. My fifth and final prediction, lucky last. What would you expect with both Cameron Murray and James Tedesco representing both Roosters, Rabbitohs between the Telstra Premiership? There's only one way to find out what that really means, that image there down below, and what the bold prediction is. If you saw the thumbnail, I think you would have a good idea of what could be, but if you don't, well, be prepared, because my fifth and final bold prediction is that it'll be a 2023 grand final between the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. So my prediction for the NRL 2023 grand final is the Rabbitohs versus the Roosters at Accor Stadium, of course. So, big prediction, I know. I mean, maybe it's not that big because a lot of people would expect a grand final like this, but I don't think many people are saying Rabbitohs will get there only because of, I guess, Lachlan Ilias and how he might have to have more time to develop, or just because there's guys or teams like Cowboys, Sharks, and Storm and all that sort of stuff. Panthers as well. And that was hardly even Panthers out of the grand final prediction, because I think Panthers are still a fair chance of making it despite losing Appy and kick out. But yeah, I think Rabbitohs are still a very good team, especially if Latrell Mitchell plays at least half the games this season. I still think they're a big threat, Rabbitohs, to the Premiership, and they'll be taking on their big rivals, the Roosters. So that'll be amazing seeing both them and the Roosters go at it in the grand final. That'll be incredible, actually. I hope it happens, because the Roosters-Rabbitohs grand final has not happened in like many years, which is crazy to think. It was very close to happening in 2018, because the last time I predicted a Roosters versus Rabbitohs grand final was back in 2018. Did it happen? No, but it was very close. But I think this time I'm going to think again and go with it in 2023, a Roosters versus Rabbitohs grand final. The winner is, I'm not going to reveal it quite yet. Maybe in my later prediction I will. But anyways, everyone, that brings an end to my NRL 2023 bold prediction series. Thanks for watching part 3, part 2, part 1. They're all enjoyable to do. I had a lot of fun making them all. I hope you all felt the same way about watching them and you enjoyed them throughout the series. Of course, we'll be back next year. Of course, it's going to keep continuing. I love doing the bold prediction series on the channel, and it was very successful, I thought, this year. So thanks to those who watched every single part of it. I really, really, really do appreciate that. So look, everyone, I'll see you in the next video next week, at some point next week. Try and think of a good video to do. But until then, stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all the very next one.